Hey, Todd, do you watch WWE?
What?
Formerly WWF?
Yes.
Yeah, did you see? Guys, welcome to WWE RAWtalk!
Yeah.
Actually, no, somebody brought...
I haven't watched since like the late 90s.
I watched when I was in like middle school. Yeah. 90s.
Somebody last week...
I was in middle school.
Todd
as
was
well.
like 37.
I was in middle school. As well.
Well, I used to talk about when I would be home from school for whatever reason, maybe I'm sick, and wrestling was on, and the Russians were on, and they're talking to the camera and they're pointing at the screen, and they're going like this, and I was looking around the room going, who are you looking at? Stop pointing at me. You're scared, and the guys would scare me because they're like going like this. I'm like, what? No, I was hiding from the TV because I thought they were talking to me. But
That's why you work out your insecurities.
people brought it to my attention that WWE just started RAWtalk for post Monday Night Raw,
And it's kind of like a podcast.
I'm sure I would be surprised if they didn't turn it into a podcast.
It's a way better set than we have. I'll tell you.
Is
that.
it?
It's awesome.
They don't have a kitchen backdrop like us. We crush them on that.
Yeah, we got the kitchen. They don't.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. They've had a trademark on Raw since 1993 for T-shirts, but it's pertaining to
Wrestling. Yeah. So you can't have a wrestler on I Shoot Raw.
No, I can't be I can't be like WWE Raw. I can't put that on a shirt.
People's elbow.
Which is perfectly fine. I actually think I was like, this could be bad for search, because if you search Google RAWtalk, I come up first as of now.
Yeah, but I YouTubed RAWtalk as of when they first started it last week, and like the first two were already their podcasts at like 200,000 plays.
Yeah, nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, it's scary.
But
if somebody if they start putting it on iTunes or something and they look up RAWtalk, they're going to find me, and then they're going to get a photography show, and then they're going to be like, Todd.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk, episode number 203 of the RAWtalk show. As we move up to 209, we're working our way there. We've got a lot to do, so why don't we just jump right into it? My costume last week, I put it up on Instagram, my photo one night,
nugget.
and then after 900 and some likes, I log back in, and it goes, I had to click a button that's like, learn about guidelines, and they took my photo down, and I'm like, why? This is the photo.
It was a miniature mushroom.
There is
It's not
nothing
like you can
wrong
see anything
with this photo.
It's so tiny.
You could. Some people. I asked people for comments. So obviously, the only way that it gets taken down is if some douchebag
Reports it, yeah.
decide to report it. But then you go on Instagram and you're like, oh look, it's Dan Bazillion's channel where a girl has a finger up her ass. You know, basically.
Whoa.
Or the suicide girls who are half naked.
Or our friend Heather, who is a suicide girl-ish type girl and is always making photos that are naked.
I mean, it's probably better off that they took it down.
Pop up her Instagram.
Definitely.
Hold on. Pop up her
Definitely.
Instagram so people can check out Heather's Instagram to go see girls.
It's probably better they took it down though, because I don't know if I
don't know why
really
you-
want you that.
Why did
picture
you
out
want it
there.
up in the first place?
That should be your Tinder profile. And then be like, oh, that's cute. He won't hurt me.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize until after the show. I know you guys were making fun of me during the show. Of course, didn't realize
Oh my god.
that you could see
You can
shadows.
clearly
but
see
I
the
should have
entire
worn the
thing.
black pants and not the
Yeah, that's the thing. The last time you wore the black ones,
gray
you couldn't
pants.
really tell.
Yeah, you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But the fact that they took it down is bullshit.
That is bullshit,
It's
yeah.
still up on Facebook, and that's what it is. Dan, can you put like a little blurry, little blurry
mushroom?
RAWtalk
Really little.
Blurry
logo?
mushroom?
I mean, really little.
Put a really little
Really
RAWtalk
little.
logo on it.
Really little. Almost microscopic.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Need a macro lens for that
My
one.
name's not Todd Wolf.
You wish it was.
No. Hey, let's do a plug.
Whoa!
We're gonna plug.
Hold on. Dave?
And here's this week's plug. Let's say something inappropriate and lose another sponsor.
Do you know who our plug is?
No clue.
Road.
Oh.
Roads.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Roads.
Did you know that it would be awesome to talk about the iXLR, the digital XLR adapter for Apple iOS devices? The iXLR allows reporters, correspondents, and audio professionals, no matter what you're shooting, to quickly and easily capture interview dialogue to your iOS device. It actually is pretty cool. We have one. We saw it
saw
in
it at
Germany.
Photokina.
We watched how it works. If you are a reporter, all I remember is all these years that I used to go into the Flyers locker room after the games and stand there and I wasn't taking pictures, but listening to them talk, and everybody used to hold up these recorders.
Yeah.
And you're like, wouldn't it be cool one day if you could hold up a recorder and then it would transcribe it for you and all this stuff? Now, you don't need a mini tape recorder or a digital tape recorder that gives you like 25 minutes of record time. You simply hold up your phone, or you get something like this and you hold it up, or if you're doing interviews, you have it done and it's digital to digital.
That's great.
Like, you need that. That's such an easy way to do it on the inexpensive way and quality way. Also, Stereo Video Mic Pro has now. Come on, Rode. All I asked for is a good thing to read.
Well, it's written in Australian.
Oh, Stereo Video Mic Pro provides how to bin upgrade with Rycote Liar suspension. Oi!
We have to get one of those, though. Did they send us the
Video
new one?
Mic Pro?
No, the new one with the Liar suspension, the Rycote
The
Liar.
suspension was nice, though.
Ro, can you send us the new one with the Rycote Liar suspension, which lifts and separates, they didn't say lifts, it just separates the capsules and electronics from its mount, providing isolation from external physical factors. They may cause unwanted rumble and vibration in the microphone. So, if a person from WWE Raw was to take one of these into the ring and do a DDT off the top, or be the Brutus,
Stone Cold Stunner,
or Brutus Beefcake, or the guy who used to eat the belt buckle. You remember that guy?
the turnbuckle,
The-
George
he used-
Animal Steel,
Yeah,
George
he had
Animal
the
Steel,
green tongue or
Yeah,
blue
George
tongue.
Animal Steel.
Or
Yes,
Mankind
sir.
with his sock.
Well, I don't know that. I just remember Honky Tonk Man, Jake the Snake Roberts.
You're going back.
You're going back.
Yeah, you're going back.
I saw
like
Jake
late
the Snake
80s,
Roberts at the
early
Spectrum.
90s.
You're talking about Sacco. You are.
Mankind.
Sacco.
Yeah, Sacco. Yep.
Put the Sacco.
So anyway,
Yeah.
what I was saying is that if they were to take it and do something from the top of the thing, the Rycote Liar
Top of the turnbuckle.
would be good for that. So
Yeah,
anyway,
because we actually had the original Video Mic Pro without the Rycote Liar suspension.
Oh, the
when we
shitty
were
rubber strings?
filming at the Rode booth, and the rep there was like, "Oh, we got to give you the upgraded Rycote Liar," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
they
you
got
do.
rid of
Give
the.
it to me right now.
They
I'll
got
take
rid
it."
of the rubber bands for your braces.
hey,
Yeah.
Dan, can we get an isolation of give it to me right now, I'll take it, that we can add to Todd's board in the future, because that's what Steven said, so isolate that later.
Sure, why
That
not?
was great.
What is it?
He said, give it to me right now, I will take it. We could use that somewhere,
Okay.
I'm sure.
Don't do my job.
I'm not doing your... I'm producing, damn it. Road,
That'll be the
There's
day.
a first for everything.
Road, Road, Road.
ROAD.
RODE with a slash through the circle. And we're still going to hopefully do the thing in January
With
in
a
Vegas.
koala.
Yeah.
Invite only.
Yeah.
Moving on. I went to Brandon Lecter's wedding.
Yes, of Alan's camera.
Alan's camera. He owns Alan's camera.
Alan's
now.
son, yep.
So I went to the wedding. It was at the Kimmel Center.
How was
Very
that?
nice place.
High end, yeah.
Very nice place. They had the wedding photographer who, if anybody was watching my Instagram,
I watched.
so did the wedding photographer.
Awkward.
Every wedding you're at, that's the only thing you snap.
I need to
is like
stop
the actual
snapping the
photographer.
photographers with the... I'm like, look, Gary Fongdome.
Oh, they're getting married. Wedding photographer.
Wedding
Married.
photographer.
Wedding photographer.
So he corrected me in his post that it wasn't a Gary Fongdome. It was the Magmod
Yeah.
thing, which is another competitor to Gary's, what Fong has.
Magmod makes a lot of snap-on pieces.
They're magnets.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I was just busting his balls there. Or when he was holding his camera up and taking pictures of the people dancing, I'm like, don't do this. So anyway, he watched my Instagram. And I sent him a message because I went and looked at his work. You can see some of the pictures rolling up on the screen from the wedding. Actually, don't roll them yet. We had the question a couple weeks ago. What is the ideal time to turn photos around? Right? Mm-hmm. Wedding was Saturday. I don't know if it was Sunday night or Monday morning, he had 61 previews up on a blog.
And that's a lot of previews.
With a personal written story
Yep.
about the day, and it does end with Uncle Bob.
Uncle Afro Bob.
Uncle Afro Bob.
Because he makes a note about Jared making fun of him.
Oh.
That was me. Yeah, because he's like, and it's a mag mod. But anyway.
Yeah, Uncle Afro
It's
Bob.
not about me. It's about the photos. The
was
photos
good.
are really good.
Really good.
And so it's Jay from Twisted Oaks Studio.com.
he did a solid job in that turnaround time.
Throw up some of these
Incredible.
photos, Dan.
Kudos to him.
Yeah, just scroll through it as a screen flow. These look really good.
I initially thought it was all of them because there were so many. And I kept scrolling, and I'm like,
61 solid
Usually
keepers.
they're like 10 previews.
Dude, 61 solid keepers right then and there. That is the whole wedding. See, that's the thing.
much.
When you put up 61 solid photos, anything else more than that's gravy. If you start putting up 2,000 and you start getting the shitty ones, then you have an issue.
Yep.
The 61 that he put up tell the story
Fantastic.
already of the day.
Yeah.
So if he adds another, even 25, even another 40 to get to 100, 39. If he adds those, even that is perfectly fine. I would be happy with 100 solid keepers, because the problem is when wedding photographers start to give you so many more, you start to get bored of looking at them, and you start to think that the quality actually sucks instead of just seeing the best of the best of the best. Great job by Jay and his team.
Yeah.
I believe he's a married team.
Did he have
He and his wife.
just 1 second shooter?
He had his wife. No, there was a third girl.
Or was the second shooter God?
Did you say God?
God.
No, there was another girl. There was some video, so I don't know if they did video also. The only comment I'll make about the girl doing video is she was on the dance floor, and all I saw her doing was this on purpose.
Yeah, but if it's cut up fast.
But I was trying to figure out, what is this for? Like, why are you making motion instead of keeping it still? I don't know.
Make it seem like a party.
And then when he said, I told him, he's like, I didn't know if you were just busting my balls on Instagram or you were serious. I said, mostly busting, but I was serious about putting the camera above your head and taking a picture. He's like, actually, with the 5D Mark IV, when you put it on the center focus and with the focus beam, you can nail it. You should try it.
Oh, I guess he told you.
Booyah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't gonna lie. Yes, I do not
Hashtag
like the
crushed it.
over the thing. I was just being honest, and we had a good discussion. I may actually invite him on because I like the style of work that he does.
Well, I shot Group Love last night, and speaking of people holding their cameras up, there was about 2 or 3 of them in the pit doing this the entire show, and I'm like, come on.
Who were they?
I don't even know.
Who were they?
I don't know.
Who were they?
What are their names?
Give me names.
But
Did you take their picture?
young, I will say they're
Did you
young.
take their picture?
No, I didn't take their
Next
picture.
time, take their
I never
picture
take
so we
any
can call them
picture
out.
in the pit.
I do.
Of the pit.
You should just be like,
Oh, God.
whistle, and then throw the flag at them.
Like, I don't mind when there's bloggers or first-time shooters, whatever. It's cool. You have a camera, take pictures. But when they get in the way of my picture, that's when it's an issue.
Yeah, you need to throw the flag.
Yeah.
And by throw the flag, I mean kick him in the mommy and daddy button.
And you only have 3 songs to shoot, so you still have to act so fast, and you can't take a song just
My
to tell them,
shots are
hey,
more important
chill.
than yours.
What was that?
My shots are more important than yours.
Gimme your love, cause I'm waiting for ya.
Yeah.
They
just had a new album come out. But it was a good show. Anyway, I wanted to bring that up.
Get me in, just let me get colder.
Shouldn't have brought it up.
Anyway, they have a really good video that they did in Amsterdam for the Fault in Our Font movie. Go look that up on YouTube because that is an awesome outdoor video. They have strings and everything. I like Group Love. They played my old loft.
Awesome.
Dan, pop up the picture from my old loft.
Awesome stage presence.
Do you remember when I won that contest?
Yeah.
And Stacy called.
Yep.
Hey,
I
Jared.
didn't go. I was shooting something else for the station that day, so I couldn't go to that event. I forget what it was. But I missed it.
Stacy's like, congratulations, Jared. You won Group Love to play in your loft.
And didn't you like sign up as a joke?
No, I'm like, I have a stage. I'm going to win. And she's like, are you excited? I'm like, what's the date? I'm like, I guess. She's like, you're not excited? I'm like, who's Group Love? Because their album wasn't even out yet.
This is when they played the first free
played the
concert
TLA.
for us, and nobody came.
Well, it
to
was at the TLA they played.
And then
There
they
was
blew
good.
up.
The TLA was good.
They just sold out the Fillmore last night,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's 3,000 people.
Huge.
Anyway, so the wedding photographer did a fantastic job.
Really good.
They delivered 61 previews within 24-ish hours. And to me, that's incredible. That's before they went on their honeymoon because they're leaving tomorrow for the honeymoon. But 61 solid storytelling, emotional images.
Highly recommend,
And,
for sure.
you know, I bust balls, but then you see the work, and the work speaks for itself.
all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Who cares
is the
about
work that you
technique
do.
as long as they get it?
That, and he wore plaid with brown shoes and brown pants.
Let me guess what you wore. The same like purple button-up that you have that you wear to every wedding.
I did.
That you've had for years.
It's not for years. It's really a nice shirt with purple and pinch, and then on the inside it's got flowers.
Does it even fit you that well?
Show the picture. Yeah, that fits me.
It's tight?
Well, what happens
Like
is
that tight?
my arms have gotten bigger and my chest has gotten bigger, so my shirts have gotten a little tighter. What, Todd? So anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up. I wanted to give him mad props.
Yeah.
Yes, I did bust his balls on the Insta Snap because that's what I do.
Did he see it that night?
We had to. If he didn't, no, he didn't see it till he got home.
So how did he talk to you?
I talked to him after the wedding.
Okay.
Outside when they were waiting for their car, so he hadn't seen my stuff yet because he's been working.
He was about to knock you out.
No, but I tell you, they worked their asses off. And the wedding ceremony upstairs, you want to talk about no light? You want to talk about not having any light? They had to contend with it, and they popped their flash. They did what they needed to do. There's some really solid images. They did what they needed to do. So mad props to Jay and his team from Twisted Oaks Studios. Photo news right now.
We've got Adorama TV's their new show, Top Photographer. It premiered this week on their YouTube channel. It's hosted by Nigel Barker, and it's featuring the first episode features guest judges David Bergman, who we've had on the show, and sports radio and TV host Ben Lyons. And it challenges 5 handpicked photographers, including Andrew Kearns, Jemiah Wilson, Chris Palermo, Scott Barrero, and Roxy Rodriguez.
One woman, but at least they got a Latino who's a woman.
Now, they all photographed a portrait of U.S. Olympic fencing team member Miles Chamley Watson, who won a gold medal. The challenge was that each photographer only had about 30 minutes to shoot from start to finish, and could only show one final unedited raw photo in camera, no post-production.
All right, so can I comment on that?
Now, also, just let me get this finished with. While they were shooting, the others were locked away in a room and couldn't see other contestants' images or their techniques while they were shooting. So they all went in blind every single time. And you can see the full 24-minute episode over on the website. It was good. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah,
I would like to watch it.
It was enjoyable.
I like David Bergman. Adorama was doing a great job with content.
Yeah,
that's obviously a great thing to do.
He took over their 2-minute tips or something.
2-minute tips
with David Bergman.
But the thing is, with the showing the raw file, personally, if I was standing there, I'd be like, well, you need to like that. I wouldn't take a negative and say proof my negative without looking at a final result. That's a little, in my opinion, unfair to the photographer, because we know that part of the battle is the capture. You capture and you process, and that's what brings out your style and brings it to life. Obviously, those are the rules. I disagree with the rules. I should be on the show. I'm not on the show. And you said they had to use Canon.
They had to use it was sponsored by Canon, so it was either a 1DX Mark II or a 5D Mark IV with pretty much any lens choice you wanted. And they had Manfrotto sponsor the show too, and I think ProPhoto sponsored as well for lights.
Lights, yeah.
But they had Nigel Barker's official assistant to help them light the whole scene, and they only had about 30 minutes to shoot. So by the time they thought of the concept to the actual starting to shoot, they only had like 15 minutes left each time.
Oy.
So it was a little rough on the photographer's end.
All right, and I will say that the wedding photographers the other day, they were using 5D Mark IVs.
Oh, there you go. And then on a less serious note, we've got newlyweds Gareth and Tony Ferguson. They've both gone viral after sharing what they're calling a special wedding photo from their big day.
Oh.
Speaking with their wedding photographer, Matt Hodgson, the couple decided they wanted something a bit different for their album and pre-planned one of their formal photos where they wanted Tony, the girl, on her knees with Gareth, pants down, drinking from a champagne bottle, simulating, something going on.
Fellatio.
Yes. And Gareth says, in quotes, "Nobody knew about it except the photographer. He found it hilarious when we told him what we wanted before the big day."
Okay, do you know what would have made this even better? You want to make this even better? If the mother and father of the bride and the groom's mother and father were in the other room, peeking in through the door,
like you saw a window or something.
Yeah. If they were, If you really want to go all out,
sounds like my search history.
Oh God!
I'm sure those pictures will go over really well when they show their kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, here's mommy and daddy.
Your kids always see your wedding album.
What are you doing?
Awkward.
Oh, mommy's looking for the ring.
Yeah,
Now,
they held a find the ring party.
Yeah, my friends did actually recently. But
She
the
found
photo,
she found it. It wasn't the one she wanted, but she found it.
She got the O-ring.
the photo has since been posted all over, but was first posted to Facebook, which was reported and removed, kind of like you with Instagram.
Duh!
It was meant to be just a joke, as she wasn't actually performing the lewd act, and there's no visible nudity.
First off,
you just see their backs.
It's not. He did not have sexual relations with that woman. Just blowjobs.
But people obviously didn't find it very funny. Tony says, the wife, "People have told us it's disgusting, that we've lost the plot or have missed what a wedding is supposed to be about. Some have even called it porn. You'd think they'd never seen a willy before."
The fuck's a willy?
And she goes
Todd,
on
what's
to
a willy?
say,
That's a British penis.
Oh, usually it's uncut.
That's a British penis.
She goes on to
old
say-
geezer talking about his willy.
We haven't heard from Meredith's uncle, Meredith's
Drunk
the
uncle?
third.
It's been a
what's
while.
he think about willies?
William Meredith III. Oh, God. Phone call.
When they talk about that old geezer, you know, you ain't giving a shit about my Willie and my wanky and all up in that bum mouthpiece, and I don't even give a shit. Goodbye, Jim.
I don't even know what he said. So she goes on to say...
He was saying when my wife takes her teeth out because she's British.
She says, all the other photos were a bit boring and really awkward. They look so beautiful, but it's weird having to stand in a line with all these people and pose and smile. Now
it would have been better if the groomsmen were all lined up and the bridesmaids were. First off, I don't mean that at all. I think that's pretty rank.
Clearly a joke
that they took. Yeah, it's a joke, but maybe don't share that. Maybe
keep that between just you and her.
If you think it's funny, that's cool. I'm not saying it's sacrilegious. I think it's funny and cute, but you know that 90% of the people in the world think it's
what's
stupid.
grandma think of that? And then
exactly.
what is when your aunt's looking with her kids and like, I don't know.
That one may have been a little too. I may have if they asked me to do that, I may have been like,
Now,
no,
Gareth mentioned in an interview, he said that the only person he was worried about showing was his stepfather, and he said he found it so funny that he actually shared it himself on Facebook and posted it everywhere.
Are they Trump supporters?
This is, I believe, in the UK.
Are they Brexit supporters?
Exactly.
She went on to say, now we have something for the wedding album that'll make us laugh for the rest of our lives and something we'll definitely never forget. I think they will never forget that one.
Until they have a little girl.
Then we've got Nikon brings you behind the scenes of how the glass is made for every Nikkor lens. It's part of Nikon's Philosophy of Nikkor video series.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I thought that was Stone Cold coming out for a second. It was lens
Where's your
glass.
Budweiser at?
Huh?
He always had a Budweiser. He's always smashing beers every time he walked out.
He's
my idol.
We used to have wrestling parties at my house. I have video
Dude, I used to
of
jump
a
off my
wrestling
gazebo
party that we had
on my
at
trampoline.
my house. I was always The Rock. My buddy
I always
was
did
Stone
The Rock
Cold.
or Triple H. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So the factory tour showcases how the lens elements, which they're calling Hikari glass, are
Hikari
made.
glass?
Hikari.
Where we go to lunch.
Pretty much.
It's called Hikari.
You're right. Mm-hmm. And spelled the same way, too. Are made and how all the equipment is designed, assembled, and repaired in-house. Now, the factory is very strict on making their lenses, guaranteeing a precise refractive index for each piece of glass.
Oi! A precise refractive index for each piece of glass.
But it's a pretty cool video. You can see it over on the website in full. It's like 5 or 6 minutes.
Cool.
And it really showcases all the behind-the-scenes
Nikon,
stuff that goes on.
I'd like to go to Japan and tour one of your factories.
That'd be pretty.
And while I'm there,
that would be really incredible.
Maybe I'll go to China and go to DJI's factory.
Yep.
Why not?
Why not? And speaking of lenses, Yongnuo is at it again and released their own budget 100mm f2 lens for Canon cameras, another copycat pretty much, costing just $170 compared to Canon's own $500 version. The lens is made up of 8 elements in 6 groups with a 58mm filter thread, pretty much the same as
kind of lens
Canon's.
is it?
It's a 100mm f2.
Is it autofocus or manual?
It's autofocus.
Really?
Yeah. It's normally $500, but again, it's a copycat lens, so $170, which is why a lot of people buy the Yongnuo lenses.
We're going to have to do my
It looks nearly identical
cheap lens test
to the real version. And it also looks like they'll be releasing an 85-1.8 clone lens for Canon, since they kind of leaked it themselves in their latest press photo, which includes the lens, like their whole lineup, and it has that in the background. You can see 85mm, which they haven't officially announced yet. So looks like that's coming soon too. And no official word on when the 100mm will hit retailers, but I'm sure it'll be soon. And photographer and graphic designer Sebastian Del Grosso has a new photo series called The Cosmos of Star Wars. You would like this a lot.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
And we're done. The photos, which mimic a digitally made like movie poster kind of, were all created with action figurines of Star Wars characters. He would take a photo of each figurine and silhouette it against a white backdrop, cut it out in Photoshop, and basically manipulate it. Just saying what it is. He would then create his own scene and background for the figurines, usually starting with one of like his landscape photos and then tweaking it from there. So he has a group of droids marching on a battlefield, Kylo Ren in like the snowy woods with his lightsaber out, a ton more. Really cool stuff, very creative. And I'll link over to the full project over on the site so you can see all the pictures from this pretty cool project.
FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-203.
Darth Vader, what do you think?
Spin that wheel.
We're not there yet, though.
I forgot
All
about
too
that
easy.
one.
What'd he say?
Spin that wheel.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You jumped the gun there, Darth.
And this one got announced literally as we were filming last week. We
Oi.
kind of brought it up. The Microsoft new Surface Studio has been announced, the first all-in-one desktop from Microsoft, kind of like the iMac. Built for creatives, they're calling it. This thing has the world's thinnest touchscreen LCD display at 28 inches big with a resolution of 4,500 by 3,000 pixels.
Probably a super beautiful screen. I love the
Yeah.
Surface Pro 4 screen.
It's probably very similar, which will let you change color spaces too on the fly. That's really nice. Now, maxed out, it will have a 2 terabyte hybrid hard drive, 6th generation Core i7 processor.
Not 7th.
Not 7. 32 gigs of RAM and a 4 gigabyte GPU. Again, that's maxed out.
98, not the 10.
Correct.
Is there a price on that?
$41.99 maxed out.
$41.99 maxed out, and it starts at about $3,000.
It's expensive as shit for yesterday's technology.
It's actually more expensive, I think, than Apple, right?
Yeah, let me say this.
Which blows my mind.
I made the video about it. The video did really well. It added actually a lot of subscribers to the channel
Awesome.
because it did over 100,000 views fairly quick.
They'll find out fast that we're not a tech channel.
Well, we're going to be one day, some sort. So when I say that it's yesterday's specs, what I'm saying is that from what the technical people have said, that they're using older processors. It doesn't have Thunderbolt. It only has
That's what pissed me
USB
off.
3
Well,
and
yeah.
and that type of stuff.
I'll get into
But
that.
what I will tell you is it was very cool to see what they came up with. They have a 28-inch touchscreen. All the stuff is in the base. It's a what they call it zero gravity.
Yeah. So the screen
so
will
it can-
basically move up and down
and
like
it can
this.
go like this, and you
you
can
can
write
write
with
on
the
it.
pen. I think it's a fantastic concept.
Nice form factor.
It is.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, and I think they've done a great job. A lot expensive. I think the second generation, now they can catch up with the better GPU.
Yep. Or when Apple steals it and makes it better.
I don't think Apple's going to get to touchscreen because I don't think majority of the world uses touchscreen because it's really not
Yeah,
that.
definitely not.
It's really not something you need for a desktop because you don't sit there and do this on a desktop. It's just a problem. Like I had that issue with the Surface Pro 4. Unless you're going to use a pen and you use a Wacom or something like that, you really do not have a need for the pen or to write or to draw. I'm not going to use Lightroom and touch the Lightroom
Yeah,
sliders.
you're covering your screen then. I think that's why that's where peripherals actually are better. Like having
Yeah, I mean, and this is
pad on
also
the side.
personal preference for you too. There's plenty of creators out there that
I just
will
said.
utilize
But it's
this,
also
yeah.
partly why Apple hasn't done it is because it's such a small market share that and we know that these touchscreens have been around for years and they haven't taken off yet. The Dells and the Lenovo's and all these other touchscreen things that the Samsungs, that these convertible convertible computers just have never worked.
Yeah.
They've never taken off. But Microsoft is finally making their own
Can't believe it took
hardware,
them this long.
and they're doing a fantastic job doing it.
They have, yeah.
I'd like to try it out.
Yeah.
I am working on it.
I'm
They invited me.
excited.
They invited me up to the event. I chose not to go because we needed to film RAWtalk. It was more important. But been talking to them to try and get it.
I am excited to see the second generation of what comes out of this. Now, the breaking point for me is that it only has 4 USB 3 ports like you brought up.
Not Thunderbolt.
It needs Thunderbolt
Or
especially for
USB-C
creatives.
with Thunderbolt.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
editing video or something like
Yeah.
that, pushing 4K, whatever, you need
Yep.
Thunderbolt, at
Yep.
least Thunderbolt 2. It also has a mini display port, SD card slot, 3.5 millimeter audio jack, Ethernet port, Bluetooth, whatever the works. And they also released the Surface Style, which mimics a hockey puck-like design that will cost $100, or if you pre-order it, it'll come with the pre-order for free, allowing users to take it off and on the screen. Switching between like brush sizes, colors, features, volume controls, whatever your application will allow you to do.
Wonder if it'll work with Premiere for editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would personally utilize it because I'm so used to a mouse at this point.
Yep.
That's even with my MacBook Pro. I don't use a touchpad at all. I make sure I use a mouse with it.
Yep.
So again, $3,000 starting out, $4,200 for the maxed out.
Yep.
Now also they unveiled the Surface Book i7, which adds a Core i7 processor, hence the name, a second fan for internal cooling. They upgrade the GPU for twice the graphics power and a new battery for 30% more life to their original Surface Book. So it's just an upgrade. This one is another expensive one, $2,400 starting out. And then on the other side, we've got the new MacBook Pro. The big thing about this one is the introduction of the new Touch Bar and the fact that they basically killed off the MacBook Air. which was a shock.
Which was great. I love the fact they killed off the Air because the new 13-inch without the with the function
basically
keys
a MacBook Air.
is smaller and lighter than the
and
MacBook
more
Air.
powerful. Yeah,
absolutely.
Now the touch bar is application specific and will let you control certain functions inside applications and also just let you remap your custom buttons at the top.
I made a video about
outside
this
of an
also.
app. Yep. For example, you can map like your favorite shortcut keys in Photoshop to the bar. You can tweak colors with it if you're in Photoshop, or if you're in Final Cut, you can scrub through your timeline, pinch and zoom, that kind of stuff. Touch ID is also built into the touch bar for logging into websites securely.
Which I like that.
And that is nice. And maxed out, they'll come with a revamped cooling system, new speakers that are smaller, but they say louder, and 256 gig SSD, Core i7 quad-core processor, which is nice in a laptop, 16 gigs of RAM, and 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports. And there's more. But.
So you guys have heard all about this at this point by the time this is out. The 4 ports will be painful right now. In the future, less painful because more things are going to take them. But it's a bitch. I can't plug my iPhone into it.
They should have had one USB 3 port. They should have had something.
Or just include the fucking adapter.
Yeah.
Because...
Or that.
Do that, because...
But still, I don't want to be like on a job and not having an adapter on me. I need a USB 3.
No,
It's the first thing that you lose.
Yeah.
Give it 6 months, give it 8 months, give it under a year. By the time that happens and they upgrade to the second generation of this, because also they're using the older i7 processor as well.
I heard that the new one just wasn't ready yet.
It wasn't
really?
ready yet because they talk about lead time. And they said the same thing with
all the
Microsoft.
R&D in
that
between.
all the research and development to go into it starts years in advance.
Makes sense.
Years in advance. And Intel, you know that they know because of Moore's law where certain things are going to be, but if there's slowdowns in production, then they have to start somewhere and work towards where they're going. So they have to build it off of a chip that is kind of ready, and then they can't do it because what happens is the Note 7 from Samsung, it blows up in your face.
Exactly.
Well, what I thought was cool though is they sporadically announced, and there's an update to Final Cut as well with the new Mac Pro.
Yeah, they showed it off in the presentation.
A little bit, but
barely.
It's a major update.
Is it?
Like, it's way bigger than just like, and by the way, we did a little update. Some people were even saying they should have called it like Final Cut 11.
So it's considered just an upgrade for Final Cut
They're
X?
just saying it's an upgrade, but
not
it's a total
11?
like redesign.
Wow.
And it's pretty interesting. And at the same time, Premiere just upgraded too yesterday.
Yeah. Did
it?
So included VR stuff and some other stuff. I haven't played it. Oh, the one thing I saw in Premiere, they have a system now when you like if you would import like 5D files and they are split up files, it'll make it one video file for you.
It'll
so that
just
you-
automatically stitch it?
Yep. It has like a stitching, whatever
cool.
they call
That's
it
cool.
thing. So that I haven't dug that deep into it, but lots of editing updates.
So what's crazy though is how when Apple does these announcements now, they're always calling people from Adobe to come up. Used to be with Steve Jobs, he hated Adobe.
Oh, yeah.
He hated Adobe and he
His
yelled
whole
at them
presentation
for
was
Flash.
Adobe.
Well, everything's now about but they know it because they make the tools that people use.
Especially Photoshop. I mean, everybody uses Photoshop. Even when I would just use Final Cut, if I had to do graphics, I'd go over to Photoshop and still do it.
I think the only competitor they have when it comes to software apps with Adobe is now just Final Cut and
Yep.
Premiere. They used to have Aperture, but they got rid of that. So
I never got into Aperture.
Me either.
I
My
was one of
friend
the
used
people that
Aperture.
got rid
and
of-
it was
never did it.
similar to Lightroom, but to me, it wasn't as good.
No.
But so the new Pros will also come in 13 and 15-inch models. Again, they kit off the Air. That 13 is going to replace that. Much thinner, half-pound lighter, and the new displays are also 67% brighter, which is great, and 25% more colors than their predecessors.
Yeah.
And they've also expanded the touchpad. It's now 2 times larger.
Go watch
which-
my video.
Yeah. That's it for that one. And then we've got Apple teamed up with LG to produce their new Retina display for their MacBook Pros, calling it the ultimate docking station for the MacBook Pro.
Which means Apple is not producing their own monitor.
Yep.
They're not working on it. They've teamed up with LG to make a monitor.
Like I just said, yep. It's a 27-inch 5K display with built-in speakers, microphone, camera. They have 3 extra USB-C
I don't get the
ports.
built-in speaker thing.
Yeah, I don't ever. My Asus comes with a built-in speaker, and I never use it.
I mean, it's for folks that just get it to hook up to their MacBook and they're not going to
They don't
have
care about-
monitor
yeah.
speakers and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, here, let's spend $1,300.
Now, what's really nice, though, is they have 3 extra USB-C ports, which will also simultaneously charge your MacBook Pro at the same time. That's great. And it packs a resolution of 5120 by 2880, again, 5K, and 218 PPI, and will run you about $1,300, so it is pretty
It's
expensive.
$300 more than if you bought a $999 monitor
Thunderbolt,
from Apple.
yeah.
But
which they don't make anymore.
It is what it is.
And they also announced a 21.5-inch version too, and that'll be about $700. But
yeah, if anything, you buy the
home.
27-inch one.
Yeah.
So nice job for LG. The only computer in the world that it will work on is the new MacBook Pros.
Right now.
Yeah.
And you just bought a monitor, didn't you?
After that announcement came out, I bought a used new.
Like a refurbished?
Nah, just an unopened one.
Oh.
Thunderbolt display.
Is it still $1,000?
No, it was $700.
That's not bad.
It was a good deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It's not going to work on my Mac Pro. I don't need to see 5K. I do not need to see 5K. If I need to see 5K, I'd rather do it to an external monitor, like a broadcast monitor, to see the 5K.
Yeah.
But I'm not cutting in 5K. I'm cutting in 2K. I'm cutting in proxy. Like, it doesn't matter to me. And I was like, I just like the form factor of the Thunderbolt display.
The woman known as Afghan Girl has been arrested in Pakistan for using a fake identity card and living in the country illegally.
What country was she living in?
Pakistan.
Oh,
she was Afghanistan before, yeah. And she entered the country illegally. She was arrested by the country's FIA,
was it
like the FBI there, pretty much.
Was it?
I think it's the Federal Investigative Association or something like that.
Yeah. What's his name? The guy from FIFA. What's his name? Whatever. Sepp Blatter, something like that.
Got nothing. But she faces 7 to 14 years in jail.
What?
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
It's Pakistan.
For what?
For just entering the country illegally and having basically a fake identity card, saying that she lived there, and a fine of up to $5,000 if she is found guilty. And
How
now,
many lashings?
At 46 years old, Sharbet Gullah became famous after photographer Steve McCurry took her photo at a refugee camp back in 1984. That's what she's known for. That image later made its way to the cover of the June 1985 edition of Nat Geo. And Steve McCurry has since reached out and says he will do everything possible to help her out and that her arrest is a violation of her human rights.
I mean, is it if she broke the law?
She did break the law, but I still think
Yes,
7
of
to
course.
14 years is outrageous.
But this is the Middle East.
Yes.
And in Saudi Arabia, women are not allowed to do anything that's a whole nother ball game. Saudi Arabia's kind of a free state, and we support them because through the oil, but women aren't even allowed to, women aren't allowed to drive, women aren't allowed to do anything, yet the Airbus, somebody...
Wonder who that is.
Hello, son of bitches. I heard what you were talking about. I'm all for that. That's why my Lord and Savior Donald J. Trump is going to try to repeal the amendment to let those lady girls keep them in the kitchen, keep them out the voting booth. Goodbye, Jew.
So one of the airlines had women pilots flying into Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia didn't want that.
That's amazing.
It's like, get over it.
That is amazing.
Fucking
2016.
lost in the old world
Seriously.
thinking that women have no rights. It's like, get over this.
It's not about thinking that people don't do it. It's all about keeping your power. That's what it's all about.
Now this issue isn't specifically about her being a woman. It's just about her.
Yeah, we got that. All right, what's
and
next?
I will say that I think a lot of the main reason behind the jail sentence is the fact that a lot of terrorists are getting these fake identity cards and crossing over in Pakistan. And that's a real issue for them. So
makes sense.
he goes on to say, now McCurry also commented saying, I am committed to doing anything and everything possible to provide legal and financial support for her and her family. I object to this action by the authorities in the strongest possible terms. She has suffered throughout her entire life. And again, she was at a refugee camp back in 1984. That's when he first found her.
Not easy.
Yeah. And then we've got, you can now own a 24-karat gold-plated DJI Phantom 4 drone for the low cost of just $24,000.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty
All right.
affordable. Yeah,
I'm on it.
Mm-hmm. Calling it the world's most lavish drone and the Rolls-Royce of the drone world. The one-of-a-kind drone is being sold by Drones Direct, and the frame of the drone is coated in gold, 24 karat, while the gimbal, the camera, the rotors, the props, they all remain original, like
Stupid.
plastic.
Should have gone all out.
That's what I'm saying.
Failed.
Of course, how would you know which propellers go on which things? It might be a problem if it's all gold.
And Drones Direct manager Tim Morley says, it is the ultimate status symbol for the gadget lover who wants something more bespoke.
It's the ultimate status symbol for the douchebag in your life.
So for when it drops into the lake of water and sinks right to the bottom, you're fucked.
When you're driving your Porsche and you have this gold-plated DJI Phantom 4, you're set. But I can't imagine this thing actually taking off with that added weight with the gold.
Probably
I mean,
not
if it's
that
just
much
like
weight.
flake. Like if it's really thin, it's just paint.
could be foil.
At that point, yeah.
24 karat gold, $24,000. It's got to be
Whatever.
pretty heavy coating.
Why don't you put diamonds on it next time on each rotor? Dicks.
Yep.
Touche. Then we have introducing the Life Light by LumaCube. Basically, it's a LumaCube, but even smaller. The Life Light is only 1 by 1.5 inches and weighs only 2 ounces.
No, Todd, that was not in my shorts when I was wearing my costume.
That's what I thought. That was gear of the week that week.
Gear of the week.
Tiny little gear of the week. Cute little guy.
And it outputs 1,000 lumens of studio quality light at the palm of your hand, just like the LumaCube. The Life Light
That's how you turn it on.
That's what I'm saying.
supported by a new Kickstarter campaign.
It's a little bigger after you turn it on, though, for a minute.
Spec-wise, it's daylight balanced, 5600K. It has a micro USB charging port, built-in magnet, and tripod mount, and it's paired with a smartphone app, which you can control the brightness output. You can tell it to act as a flash or a
That's too much
constant
work.
light. You can pair multiple units together, act as a strobe. There's a lot of stuff it can do.
I
It's
like
pretty
it.
cool. And it's
I wanna
also
play with it.
waterproof, so in their promo video, they actually have it attached to surfboards, and surfers are going out at dawn and
Nice.
surfing with this LumaCube under it because it's waterproof.
awesome.
Or waterproof down to like 30 feet or something like that.
yeah.
The standard. And the campaign has already
So
been
for bathtubs.
has already raised more than double its goal of 33 grand, and it still has about 3 weeks to go. And you can own your own Life Light for an early bird contribution of just $39, so it's pretty affordable. That's
not bad.
And it will start shipping in March.
They have a new theme song. Light up my life, light up my light, LumaCube. Dude, that was good.
Solid. Crushed it.
Light up my life, light up my light, LumaCube. It's fantastic. Are you done?
I'm done.
All right, guess what? Thank you for the photo news. It's time for Gear of the Week. This week, I've got a box that says my book. Not yours, but mine. This is a Western Digital My Book 8 terabyte 8 terabyte drive.
Terabyte.
So here it is. I remember when I bought like a 90
That looks
gigabyte one.
exactly like their old My Books.
It is. Well, it has it's a new design.
That looks the same. It looks more square this time.
Yeah, it's
So this
definitely.
is $249 for USB 3.0 8 terabyte hard drive.
Just USB 3 or
USB 3 is right there. That's it. USB 3.
yeah.
No, that's not Thunderbolt. Then you're going to get into even more. Like I bought Todd.
It's
the
way more expensive
OWC
when you buy Thunderbolt.
4 bay 12
Thunder
terabyte.
Bay, 12 terabyte.
Thunder Bay, but because it's Thunderbolt, Dan pop up a picture.
Best of the best.
And but this for $249 with it's 8 terabytes.
Wow, 8 terabytes for
Yeah, that's
$250.
pretty inexpensive.
That's
Yeah.
really
So
good.
let me just say this: there are almost zero excuses now for you to not have at least one backup.
Agreed.
Of all your 8 terabytes. If you I have more than 8 terabytes because that's video. If I
Photos,
just had
yeah.
photos, I would be able to have 2 of these and store everything on it and not have to worry about it.
Yep.
For $249, people, you get one of these. If you already have Amazon Prime, you set that to upload everything to your cloud and double. So you have your one backed up here, one backed up in the cloud, and for $249 plus the cloud storage, you're good to go.
Take a bite.
That's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I think I have my photos. My photos probably total up to like 4 terabytes or so. So I bought a cheap drive a couple years ago and ended up backing up my whole thing and dropping it off at my parents' house just to be safe to have an exact backup off location.
Guess what time it is?
What time?
Flight Soul time. Woohoo. Light up your dot.
Wait, why did you do Gear of the Week just now? Don't we usually do it after?
No.
No?
No, we always do Gear of the Week after photo news.
Do we?
Remember? I always ask.
Oh.
And you're like, no, it's Gear of the Week, then Flying Solo. Flying Solo, we got video questions again. This one's from Ian Seth Campbell from Nashville.
Hey guys, wanted to get your opinion real quick and see what y'all thought of the D750 still. I know it's a few years older, but I'm not really looking to spend the amount of money that a D5 would cost, or the D810. I have a D500 now, but again, I'm not looking to break the bank. I just kind of want to get a full frame camera that's not crazy expensive. What are your thoughts?
So that's his question. D750, what do we still think about it? Yes, it's a little bit older, but it's still a wise choice.
Yeah.
It's still a good camera, but this brings
It
up
is.
an awesome point. And this begs the question, should you buy used lenses or bodies ever. And the reason I bring this up is because I saw that refurbed right now, you can get a D750 for $13.99.
Wow.
$13.99 for a D750. They're still, that's $500 off or $600 off. They were just under $2,000. So here's my answer to should you buy used gear for lenses and bodies, and my answer is absolutely yes. If you can find a good price on a manufacturer's refurbed body or lens, you are going to save money and you're going to get the same piece of equipment that you would have gotten. Canon still gives a 1-year warranty. Nikon may give a 90-day warranty. But if anything's going to happen, it's most likely going to happen early. A lot of the gear that I bought when I was first starting out was used lenses because I would save hundreds of dollars, and maybe they didn't have the box. But so what? I still had a clean, good piece of glass, and I saved a ton of money. And nowadays, with all the manufacturers selling direct, sorry, Alan's camera, they sell direct refurbs all the time. Bodies and lenses. I highly recommend refurbed stuff when you can get it.
I own half my lenses are used. Todd, you have used lenses?
Yeah. I've definitely my 70 to 200 was used.
I think I saved $500 on every single one of those lenses. It's great.
David Gertron.
Hi guys, Dave from Chicago here. My question's about external audio recording. If you can talk about some entry-level ways for those of us just getting started, and then elaborate on some of the more high-end stuff, maybe what you guys use for external audio recording. Thanks, guys.
Steven, you want to take this one?
I mean, is he talking about...
Well, I would consider what we do on RAWtalk. RAWtalk high-end. What do we use?
Yeah, I guess we can talk about that. Well, we personally use Zoom H6, which to me is like the end-all, be-all personal recorder. It's great. It does enough. It's not the best of the best, but for what it does and the price point... But for at that price point, which I think it's $400 now, or maybe $500, I forget the exact price. But even the H5 is great too. It just has less inputs.
Yeah.
I love it. The H6 we use for everything from the 5-minute portraits to the real-world reviews to RAWtalk.
To getting extra audio when we're out and about.
We do wireless inputs with it. We do wired inputs. Then when it comes to external recording with on camera, like we use the Rode shotguns. They're great.
Yeah.
But I would say most of the time we use the Zoom H6 for everything. Color screen.
Lots of inputs.
Phantom power, which is huge. Phantom power is real big.
So there you have it, really. Recorder. That's... Yes, there's probably much higher end stuff. This is what we use because it's an easy package to use. It's affordable, relatively affordable. If you're looking to do something, this is the option that we personally use.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Ben Geyser. Kit Kat or Twix, Steven?
Oh, man, that's tough. I'd say Twix personally.
Todd?
That's almost a tie.
Yeah.
I love Twix, but man, do I love Kit Kats
too.
in the freezer.
Kit Kats are awesome.
So between those two, I'll pick that.
Yeah.
Oreos or Chips Ahoy?
I am a Chips Ahoy guy.
I'll take Oreos.
Chips Ahoy.
Jesus Christ. You guys are on the same point with each other.
We snack with each other.
Aaron
That's all we eat all
Tremblay.
day. Twix and Chips Ahoy every day.
Aaron Tremblay.
Hey there, FroKnowsPhoto team. This question is probably directed more towards Steven, but I'm looking to upgrade my 6D to one of the 5D series, either the Mark III or the Mark IV. I do primarily weddings, concerts, like portraits and senior shoots. Wondering if the difference from the Mark III to the Mark IV is a big enough reason to spend the extra money. Thanks for everything you guys do. Aaron from Tucson, Arizona.
For me, I'm going to upgrade for it more for the ergonomics on the camera with the new button placement, that new extra button you have on the back, the higher ISO in general. Not so much the video features, it's more for the still photo features for me, the 30 megapixels, the higher crop room for me. I know you don't crop, but I'd say it's a great camera to upgrade to. If you're going to upgrade and you have between the 5D Mark III and Mark IV, if you have the budget, Mark IV all day. If you don't, use Mark III is fine for stills. If you're doing video and you want to do 4K, I would recommend doing the 5D Mark IV.
All day long. At this point,
mainly for the dual pixel autofocus. That is awesome.
That's nice.
That's incredible.
Yes,
for a one-man band.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next question comes in from a guy with a white goatee. Here it is.
Hey Jared, Zach Arias here, and I've got a question for you. Thumbs up or thumbs down on a Surface Pro? I'm looking at the Surface Pro and the Surface Book because I feel like Apple is losing touch with its creative base with this latest Crapbook Pro that they just announced. So I'm actually looking at a Windows machine for the first time in 18 years of my life, and I'd like to know your thoughts on the Surface. Appreciate it. Bye.
So that's a good question, Zach. Thank you
Interesting.
for asking that. I personally have a Surface Book Pro 4, and I liked using it for
Surface Pro 4,
productivity.
right? Not
What did I
Surface
say?
Book.
Oh, yeah, just a Surface Pro 4. I started to take it on the road, but then missed my 15-inch MacBook Pro because it's a bigger screen and I'm blind. I found it harder for me to work with the keyboard from time to time, but I love the screen, but too small for me to do editing. The 12.9 inches or 12.3 inches of it isn't big enough for the photography work that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now, he's looking to do it for tethering and shooting to it. If you have an external monitor, display port that you plug into, I don't think it's a bad option. I think it's a great option for you to take around. I'm not ready to dump Apple at this point yet, personally. I don't think they're going anywhere. They are still the second. They flip-flop for the second and worth the most money in the entire world. So in that sense of the word, they're still extremely successful with the $48 billion quarters and stuff, which is insane. But
I think you're too invested in the Apple ecosystem to switch at this point.
You can switch for
But
switch at any
everything you
point.
have is Apple.
Yeah, but there's no reason for me to switch right now. You still have to work with Windows. If that's what you want to do, it's just little quirks that you have to get used to. Same thing if somebody went from Windows to Mac. You
Like
still
I
have to
did.
learn certain
Yeah.
things. Look, the Surface Pro 4 is, I think, a good machine. It's unbelievable how small and how versatile it is. I do think you're going to miss the MacBook Pro, though, if I say it. I wouldn't get a Surface Book, though. I don't know, that i7. I don't know, maybe that could be the right choice
Well,
for
I'm
him. I
curious
just
now
never used it.
if you took the new MacBook Pro versus the Surface Book i7 spec-wise, what's going to win?
Yeah.
Benchmark-wise.
So anyway, thanks for sending that in.
Yeah.
Scott Beaton, my question is more for Stephen and Todd. I've been doing some small video work for the high school I teach at. Skits, commercials for events, pep rallies, intros, or pep rally intros. Just fun stuff running around with my GoPro and Polar Pro mic, which I've never heard of. I want to start using my Nikon D600 and step it up. The school will be providing me a small budget to get some stuff, including the video guide, hopefully. And I'm trying to decide between a Rode mic or Zoom H4n. Ideally, I'd be using them together, but it's not in the budget right now. Which would be the better choice for the time being? Thanks, and keep up the great work. Dan, make a note. Send this guy a free guide. Sorry, Morgan. I actually already sent it. You don't have to make a note. I already sent the guy. I already sent him a free guide. I sent him both guides.
So you were faking it right there.
Well, that was a fake. Yeah, but I can't lie. So I've already sent. I already was like, yeah, you know what? And he's doing it for school. He's a teacher,
Yeah,
so
it's
this is
great.
good. Send him the editing guide coming out of your budget, your paycheck,
Damn it.
and I sent him the DSLR
Sorry,
video
Morgan.
guide. Anyway, I sent them both because why not? So between Rode mic and H4n.
Well, is he doing interviews? Is he what's he
just seems
recording
like
with it?
It just seems for like general use. What I gather, I think a Video Mic Pro with Rycote Lyre suspension, like he said, he would consider using both. But in the budget for one, you got to go with the microphone.
If he's just getting ambient sound of what he's shooting right then
Exactly.
and there, I think it's just a shotgun on it.
And
call
plugging
it.
it
Actually,
right
would
into the
even-
camera.
I would say an H4n would be more versatile if you're just recording ambient sound.
For ambient sound. But if you're looking to do the interviews and you're putting that on the top and you're running and gunning.
Or if you could get both, that
if you
would
could
be
get
the
both.
best scenario.
First choice for me would be the Video Mic Pro because I think the shotgun mic would be a better option.
It's
up
just
top.
you have to be very close to your source.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
that.
Good for him, though.
TJ Newell.
Here are two questions. I have a Canon Rebel T5 with the whopping 9 focus points, and sometimes I feel like the lack of focus points limits my composition. Like, if I'm taking a picture of somebody and I want to focus on the eye, I only have the 9 focus points, so my camera can only be in certain positions, and that's it.
All right, so one, cry me a river. let me just give you a little story. My current
D5?
no, well that has I don't even know how many
Asinine
how
number
many
of
focusing points.
Yeah.
My peephole is my N90S. My N90S had how many focusing points?
5?
1.
Oh.
Okay, so you couldn't move anything. It was right in the middle. So everything you had to do was focus, compose. Even with continuous focus, it was like this was. You let the camera do its thing because that's all you had. When I went up to my my F5, so it was N90S. When I went up to my F5, it had 5 focusing points. So what I noticed is a lot of my photos had the person dead smack in the middle and a lot of dead head space up there. And that was for the longest time because you had to get the shot, so you needed to use that focus point for continuous.
For continuous, yeah.
And then I started to learn to recompose.
It's tough for continuous, but yeah.
You've got 9 points.
Shot,
you got 9 points. You got nothing to complain about, bro.
Focus, recompose. Yep.
That's it. You really just need to deal with it.
I'm not saying shoot it like f1.4 and focus and recompose. That might be a little harder, but yeah. Focus and recompose all day.
James Sanders. Hey, Fro, I'm a beginner photographer, and on Halloween, I was passing candy out with my neighbor, and while doing that, I was asking parents if I could take pictures of their kids' costumes, and most of them said sure. But one I asked, and she said it was okay, and her friend was like, Wait, what are you doing? What are you going to be doing with those photos? Are you a child predator? Do you enjoy looking at little kids' pictures?
Are you Todd
I'm
Wolf?
like, whoa. You just need to chill.
Yeah.
Chill. I'm a beginner photographer, and I'm just shooting. I need practice to get better. I'm wanting to make this my business, and hopefully this will be my job. And she just kept going on, and she wasn't even the parent. Was what I said fine, or should I have said something different? This was my first time. So you asked permission of people, and they gave you permission. Half the battle, part of the battle is having the balls to actually ask for permission. You ask permission.
Jared doesn't do it.
What'd you say?
I said Jared doesn't do it.
You asked for permission from the parents, and most of them said yes. You're going to run into dickheads and putzes and people like this other person who flat out was like, are you a child predator? Do you like looking at pictures of little kids? I would have been like,
how dare you call me that?
Yeah. Like, fuck you, get off my doorstep, no candy for you. No, really. But you just say, okay.
And you don't need any, you fat son bitch.
Yeah, it could have been that. But no, seriously, that's... you did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
If you don't want your picture taken, say, no, thank you. I would prefer not.
Yeah, there's no need to have a tangent of...
Great. But to sit there and call somebody, are you a pedophile in essence? And it's not your kid. You're not being funny because he's like, I don't think she's joking. She was being serious. Get out of here. Fuck off. Like, seriously, that shit pisses me off.
Todd, you'd be fine, right, if someone asked to take Morgan's picture during Halloween? If they were taking a picture of
I think it's kind of weird.
I guess so.
I still think it's kind of weird.
I still think it's kind of weird, but you wouldn't be like, this guy's definitely a predator.
Odd. I mean, if I knew the person and they were just taking pictures of all the kids that came, but...
It is kind of weird to ask random people, unless the gift was the gift of an Instax. If you were like, picture, have an Instax... Maybe that's a different story.
That'd be a cool little giveaway.
Screw your picture. I want some candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's yes. It's a little awkward that you were asking random people.
Yeah, I mean, people are sensitive about their kids. You have to understand that. I mean, it's
but
there's
she went too far.
Yeah.
You just have to be careful with things like this, especially with random people coming to your door.
Although random people wanted to take my picture all Halloween because I was dressed up as Rick Grimes. The wife was dressed up as Michonne.
Again? Weren't you that last year?
Oh yeah.
Recycling
people
costumes,
came back
man?
and they were well. Now that my neighbor wants to be Glenn because he's Korean.
Does he have the?
He wants to be Glenn. Well, I said he's got options now. He's got options. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's got options.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen it. So.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for Flying Solo.
Cool.
Thank you guys for sending in Flying Solo. It's time to spin the wheel for the person that I've selected, and we're going to spin that wheel just now. Oh, I need to go around the wheel.
Yes.
Think Tank Photos, where it's still sitting on that. That's what it landed on last week. They are sending the bag out to the winner. Audioblocks.com/go/fro. Store.froknowsphoto.com. At any point, if you'd like to pick up Steven's shirt, I need to order more because there's only a couple left.
A lot of people order these?
Yes, they're basically sold out.
Awesome.
I need to order more.
Dan,
make a note. I need to order more. If you want to pick up shirts, go to store.froknowsphoto.com to get your I Shoot Raw t-shirts and much more. Rode Microphone, this week's sponsor. We use these mics each and every week. You got Lexar is the cards that we use, Micro SD, Compact Flash, XQD cards. That's what we use. And that hub, and CFast.
Yep.
Skip My Face, Hoya. FroKnowsPhoto.com/guides to check out all of the guides we offer.
He forgot the past few weeks. I thought he eventually forgot.
Squarespace.com/Fro to get your 14-day free trial of Squarespace. It's what I personally use for my website each and every week. Videoblocks.com/go/Fro. The Fro bag. Store.froknowsphoto.com to pick that up. $212. I think it's still coming with some free stuff because there's
the
free
Pixel
stuff.
Pocket Rocket is great.
That's worth money.
Yeah.
Rode Microphone once again. We got Kessler Crane. Thank you, Kessler Crane, for being a part of the team.
Yep.
We go to KesslerCrane.com/Fro. Use the code FRO10 to get a discount. If you've been checking out the emails that I send each and every week, they've been sponsoring the bottom of the email. So you click on that, boom, takes you over to their website. We got the spin again, that prize. And you got from Canon.
Printer.
You've got AdoramaPics.com, and then the editing guide. Let's spin the wheel.
Let's do it.
Spin that
Take your time.
Around and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. The wheel of the Fro is about to stop on an amazing prize. An amazing prize. An amazing prize. I'm still not looking. I'm going to spin it again because the guy I picked, I already gave him the free guide.
Oh, okay. One more time. Take two.
So the winner is the guy who we already gave free guides to because he's a teacher. So whatever it lands on, he could enjoy. Please don't land on my bag. Please don't land on my bag.
Nah, it's going to skip it.
Please don't make my bag. Scott Beaton is the winner.
Audio
Congratulations.
blocks!
You run audio blocks that you can use for those videos that you're making at your school.
Actually, that's perfect.
Congratulations. Let's get to memes.
Let's do it.
It is time for memes. If you'd like to send in your memes, send them to singwheeloffro@gmail.com.
Yeah.
First one is, Todd?
Oh, this is from Brapshot Photography, and this is the Halloween intro he sent in last week.
Oh,
I just wanted to revisit this, and because he sent me an email, and he was like, yeah, is it cool if I use all the footage that I got with the editing guide and put it and make a video for you guys? So he cut together this video because he had the editing guide and had all this raw footage from the FroKnowsPhoto music video. And he sent it in, like, after we already shot RAWtalk last week.
I'm talking over it, but it was actually really good.
It's really good.
I'm kind of scared of it.
Yeah.
It was. He did a great
Solid job.
With the audio and everything.
It was really good. Yeah.
I got scared.
That scared you.
I got scared.
I wonder where you got all the sound effects from.
No. Next one?
Next one's from our friend Broxy Bear. This is Frojack.
Who's Frojack?
Who loves you, baby?
Kojak. Like Kojak.
Oh. Next?
Next one is from Heath Frandon. This is Super Fro Brothers.
Oh, man.
This was good.
You have 0 points, though.
Maybe there's a giant plant, man-eating plant in my 24 to 70. That's why
maybe.
Right.
Oh, Jared, there's your mushroom that you have in your pants.
No, that's too big. All right, next one's from Ian from England. This is cock shit.
What?
This is just stuff he found. It's got cock-flavored soup as well as shito. Mix them together, you got some cock shit.
That's funny.
It's so random.
If you guys find random funny shit that we should show, send it in.
Please do. Next one's from John Maxwell. This is the Becky comic.
Oh, my God.
This week in Romper Room, Jared loves my taco. What happens in back of the bell stays at the bell. Dan says, can we talk Legos again? And this panel is brought to you by the good folks at Shut the Fuck Up and Shut the Fuck Down. Lego boy, what? Tacos.
Becky's taco is spicy. I may need some milk.
I can't see what mine
Jared
says.
I really like big tacos and I eat them like this. Crush it.
That's funny. Next.
Next
That
one's
is
from
funny. That's
Kyle Luth. This one's the fun vacuum.
All right, asshole.
Suck the fun out of photography.
Dick.
That's
Next.
great.
Next from Larry Everidge. This is Phelps Jordan.
Oh, the sad Jordan meme gets me every time.
And Ryan Nielsen. This is Jared on Brit TV. He actually saw a picture of what he thought looked like you on British television.
I thought it was me for a second.
Well, it's definitely not his body. Maybe
Definitely
his head.
not. Definitely not.
Next.
And the last one is a video from Jordan DiCaprio called Fro Colin. Pay attention to this.
I wonder what I can do to bring my photography business to the next level. I know. I'll call the Fro.
Warn them, though.
Yeah.
Phone call.
Phone call already.
Well, hello, you son bitch.
Yeah, hi, can I speak to Jarrett?
Nine.
Well, I was actually wondering how much would it cost to sponsor a RAWtalk?
$4.83 billion.
$1 billion.
Billion with a B.
I think that's kind of much. Is there anything else we can do?
Nine! You son bitch!
Okay.
Fat son bitch! Goodbye, Jim!
That was really good.
That's good.
That's
I
funny.
like that.
Creative.
So I want to give that guy something. Dan, that guy. You want to pick one more?
That was really
well,
good.
the Super Mario Brothers was
I think
good.
Super Mario
Yeah,
Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers.
The Becky comic was pretty good too. But
All right, those three.
yeah.
I'm curious in that Becky comic, is that like something he drew of Becky?
Yeah, I think it is.
If
I mean, it's
that
a
is
fat
her,
Taco Bell Becky.
Send me a picture of just
She's
her.
got like a thong on too.
Because that could potentially be her picture.
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty good, yeah.
And that's memes of the week.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That's memes.
That was good.
Dan, any hashtags?
We've got the official hashtag list.
The list is
Look
long
at this
this
small
week.
piece of paper.
Oh, we're never getting to lunch now.
Hashtag off my doorstep. Hashtag no candy for you. Hashtag crushed edit. Crushed edit. They're not T's. They're crush edit. Crushed it. Wait, no, that's crush edit. Those are your hashtags. Any other hashtags? Hashtag don't take pictures of random kids that come to your door for candy.
Hashtag stop being a weirdo. Was his name Noah, by the way, that was taking those pictures?
I don't think it was. That's what we've got.
That's it.
For all the photo news stories and more, go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-203. Go check out Rode Microphones. They are the proud sponsors and official microphones of RAWtalk. I just made that up. They didn't even send that to me to say.
Ooh.
Wow.
Anything else you want to say?
Ad-lib.
So good.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Don't forget to download.
You still have to come play the VR.
Don't forget to have your pet spayed or neutered. And don't forget to download the RAWtalk as a video, audio, or podcast. Whatever that just said. And that's it. Steven, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys very much for watching. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.